Hello everyone. I actually never do videos on the first of the month, and there are two reasons. First of all, I don't really believe in actually looking at a month like that, despite the fact that sometimes it is maybe relevant. But more importantly, in ancient times, the first was always the new moon, and the 15th was always the full moon. But of course, we changed our calendar system. And at the same time, yeah, you could argue that it's the beginning of something new. But at the same time, nothing really important happens most of the time. So it's a waste of energy. Not this time, because this time, two things occur on 1st of July. Number one is that Neptune finally stops on its celestial course and becomes stationary. On the 1st of July, it's stationary direct, and the 2nd of July, it's stationary retrograde, and finally, it turns fully retrograde on the 3rd. And at the same time, the sun is aligned with two important and bright stars of Gemini, Alhena and Mebsuta. Now, I must say that a lot of us are hoping that Neptune is finally moving into Aries simply because the craziness, this woke ideology, the totally unfunded and not totally baseless green agenda, it's so much craziness flying around that those who have their common sense are really scared, because if this continues for a longer period of time, everyone will be destroyed and everything will be destroyed. On the one hand, it's very interesting to see how some people think that, yeah, we should go into a war, and yes, we have a full-blown war because humankind is ready to die. It's ready to become extinct. And the other half really is very scared because we could lose everything, not just our life savings, our home, our family, but our lives as well. War is never the answer. War is always horrible, and it's always the little people who struggle and suffer, and it's always the big shots who make a lot of money out of this. And this is exactly what's happening. I'm not sure whether you heard Lindsey Graham's interview where he simply said that, yeah, of course, the Ukrainian war must go on, and Russia cannot win, and Ukraine must win, and we must do everything in our power because Ukraine has a lot of natural resources, and we can't allow the Russians to get it because we want it. What utter horrible saying! What utter horrible dishonest! Well, it was honest, so it's blatantly open now that this war is about resources. It's about actually imperialism. It's really who can grab what's there. But anyhow, let's take a look at the London chart. This is for noon, so I didn't bother with the angles and everything. It's just noon for London, July the 1st. You could use any other time. It doesn't really matter. And as you can see, Neptune is stationary at 29 degrees 55. It will be there tomorrow as well, and then it slowly will turn. It will closely be there 29.55, and then slowly it will move back into 29.54 and so on. And for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be retrograde. What is Neptune doing in its own sign? Craziness, ideology, fully blown ideology, which is false. But at the same time, it may raise our awareness and heighten our ability to tune into things that are not immediately obvious. So if you can actually swim above the smoke screen and look down from a height position, then you can see through the fog, see through the watery energies, and you can see the core of truth. That's also Neptune, but that's the higher manifestation of Neptune. In this London chart, and actually anywhere else that you move and take a look, the moon in Taurus is nearing Mars. In 6 hours, they will be exactly conjunct. Chiron is nearing Aries, and it in Aries, and it will take a couple of more weeks. By the beginning of August, I think they will be exactly conjunct. And there's this traffic jam at the very end and very beginning of Taurus and Gemini. The dark moon was crossing over Uranus in like a day ago, and then now it will be conjunct Sedna, creation through dissection, which is one of the main protagonists anyway in these moments in time. Here's the dissociate kind of 2 days ago when Black Moon Lilith entered Libra and became exactly conjunct the supergalactic center. And as you can see, the structure became tighter because Pluto, which was at 1 degree 30-ish, now is a little bit less than 1 degree 30. So it's actually retrograding. So this was the object that was a little bit tight to even to my taste. I really like to use very, very tight always when it comes to configurations, but now it became even tighter because it's retrograde. And Neptune is almost the same. Now this would be a really beautiful kite had it really been working in a proper energy pattern, because you might remember that I very often say that trines are lazy patterns. And if you have a grand trine, it allows you to utilize it a little bit better because the energy is swirling in any tight configuration. So whenever you have a swirl of energy, it can manifest much better. And out of the 4 potentials, all kinds of, it could be 4 grand trines, 4 trines actually, and also grand trines, fire, water, air, and earth. And fire is the least usable, and earth is the best. And but the second best is air. And here you have an air grand trine, so it could be brilliant. And it would be actually, if you want to see this fully explained, go to my previous video on Black Moon Lilith is entering Libra, aligned with the supergalactic center. That is what you should actually take a look at, because what I say is that for the next 9 months, this configuration will be valid for Black Moon. The problem is, and it will be brilliant, actually, it will be brilliant because Black Moon Lilith denotes, it is a third turning point in the Lilith mythology, and it shows when Lilith returns to the Garden of Eden in the form of a serpent to rectify things there. So and for this, she needs clairvoyance. She needs to know what's happening. And she also needs to have courage and determination. And that's what Black Moon Lilith represents in the natal chart. Clairvoyance, courage, and determination. And Pluto is, of course, the transformator. So it's the power and transformation. And Sedna denotes creation through dissection. So you have, in this particular case, you might have the courage and determination to look at the non-working segments of your life and whatever is non-working in the world, toss them out, and put together something that is usable, something new, a new structure, something that we can all utilize and benefit from. The problem is, it's an air grand trine, so it could work. It would be much better if we had something in fire, because the fire could give it the boost of energy that it needs. The problem is that Neptune is in Pisces, a water sign, and air and water are mutually exclusive psychological modes, because air is thinking and water is feeling. And you either act out of consideration, thinking, or you act out of your whim of emotions. So they always clash. And here Neptune does not give you the energy that is necessary for this particular grand trine to really work properly, unfortunately, because the ideology that is represented by Neptune is force. If you think of any woke ideology or the green agenda, which is totally, totally false, don't remain in your bubble, please. If you really want to know what's going on, try to research it. Try to find alternative sources. Yes, admittedly, they are a lot harder to find. Anyone who is singing out of the official choir, let's put it this way, is immediately silenced, vilified, even sometimes killed, or totally destroyed. That's the problem. And at the same time, if you just read the data, you will understand what's going on. Okay, So this is the kite and the transcendental objects. They are the exact same ones 2 days before, so I'm not going to repeat them. And again, what's interesting is that you have those beautiful fixed stars at each corner, which gives us hope that we could utilize that. And now we come to Gemini and those beautiful fixed stars that the sun is aligned today on the 1st of July and even tomorrow, so you can utilize them. And as you can see, Alhena is the foot of the celestial twins, one of the foot, but actually this is Pollux's foot. And as you can see, Castor is the alpha star and Pollux is the beta star, but Castor is rapidly losing brightness, and Pollux is much brighter than 400 years ago when these alphabet letters were assigned to them. Alpha is always the brightest star of a constellation, as long as it remains bright enough. Now it's no longer the case. And Mebsuta is the knee of the other celestial twin. So you have a foot and a knee. And this is what I left out. This is the drawing that I left out of my Hungarian version, but that I managed to show it. So here's the planetary picture. As you can see, the sun is aligned with these two, and since Bernard Brady suggested this way back in 2006, I'm using the word aligned because actually almost nothing can be conjunct Mebsuta because it's about 27, its declination is 27 degrees from the calculated from the celestial equator. And maybe the moon, when we have an out of bounds moon, that is when it could be exactly conjunct Mebsuta. Nothing goes above 28 degrees really. The asteroids do, but that doesn't count because they crisscross all the time. So as you can see, the sun is aligned with Alhena and Mebsuta. Alhena is the foot and Mebsuta is the knee. And if you want to see why these are so important, here is a section of the sky where you can see so this is Gemini, this is the constellation Gemini, this is Taurus, the alpha star of Taurus is Aldebaran, not on the Milky Way. Yeah, the horns of the bull are on the Milky Way, but they are not particularly bright stars. And out of Gemini, Alhena is just about there, but Mebsuta isn't. So actually you have two stars here, Mebsuta and Aldebaran, which are kind of on the two sides of the Milky Way actually, but Alhena is right there. Why is this important? Because the Milky Way is the pathway of the gods, and the ecliptic is the pathway of the hero. And here they cross. They have a crossing, and actually Alhena is at the crossing, both on the Milky Way and on the ecliptic, effectively combining the two energies. Alhena in Arabic means the proudly marching one, and as you can see, it's the foot. And simply, it denotes the fact that if you have this star prominent in your chart, it's at 9 degrees Cancer. At the moment, it's at 9.5 degrees actually. But fixed stars move 72 years, only 1 degree. So actually, you can calculate. So if you are more than 30 years old, then you deduct a little bit more than half a degree. If you are, let's say, 60 or 60-ish, then you can actually deduct almost 1 degree out of the placement. But it's a very prominent position, and those who have this with anything aligned with in their natal chart are people who know what they want, and they simply will do whatever is necessary to succeed because they have the vision and they believe in themselves, and they just march proudly on, no matter what kind of obstacles there are. At the same time, Mebsuta, which is the knee, is a totally different star. First of all, it's not on the Milky Way. It is on the ecliptic, but, and it's quite high, by the way. As I said, it's about 20, the declination is about 27, calculated from the celestial equator. And Mebsuta is linked to bend the knee. Now, in kinesiology, the knee represents two things, your self-assurance and also humbleness. And I'm sure you know what it means to bend the knee. Of course, in old times, you bend your knee to your sovereign, offering your sword or offering your services, and it meant that you became his in many ways. And of course, in old times, uh, men bent their knees in front of women when they asked to marry them, which is a beauty. I think it's a beautiful thing because, yeah, I mean, they are the crown of creation anyway, and this is a moment when they accept the fact that in this particular moment, it is up to the woman. So they actually acknowledge the power of the woman. I like it anyway. I know that nowadays no one does it. Okay, live as you wish, but I still like the old ways. That's it. I'm an old bag. I can, I can like. It's allowed me to like the old ways. So anyhow, what Mebsuta does, uh, it is a place. First of all, why are fixed stars important? I totally forgot to tell you this. Actually, fixed stars, need to remember that fixed stars are not in the solar system. They are up there and out there, so they are not part of the normal, everyday human, ordinary thing. They are much higher energies, higher dimensional worlds, and there are two ways to access them. One way is when we die and lose our physical body, and then the soul, which is the spiritual essence, which is like an energy sphere or an energy shaft, a shaft of light, simply knows how to go there because nothing actually prevents it to move completely freely. And on the higher dimensional worlds, not everything is at this. Nothing is separate. Everything is connected. It's a true interconnectedness. And no, you know everything because you have panoramic view. You have the panoramic mind. So you go wherever you want. It's kind of like the human intellect, which can also go wherever you want to go if you have the fantasy energy. And the other position, the other thing that you can actually download the ways of these bright stars is when anything is aligned with them. As I said, it can be only conjunct when it is within the ecliptic. Then it's truly conjunct, but otherwise hardly ever can anything be conjunct with Mebsuta, for instance. Maybe the moon if it's up there, but really out of bounds. So anyhow, but alignment is important. So when either the sun or the moon get to the same astrological degree, then this star will be able to manifest its potentials, and you can actually download it. And this is happening on the 1st of July and also on the 2nd of July, when these are the two bright stars that you can download. With Alhena, you can actually start doing what you want. You can start having a vision and you can actually pluck up courage to do it. And with Mebsuta, you can create a balance between too much or too little humbleness. It's very important to be humble. It's very important to have these hierarchical understandings that yes, sometimes, for instance, my father, my mother are above me because they are old and they live more and they know more. One of the problems of this age is that young people are looking down on old people, and this is a terrible mistake. And unfortunately, this is a trend which is very hard to turn around simply because young people don't yet know so much. They haven't experienced so much. And believe me, experience is everything that counts. If you experience something on your own skin, with your own eyes, if you lived through something, then you will understand. If you just hear about it, you remain stupid most of the time. You need to know what it is. I just listened to someone who was explaining what will happen when the European full-blown or World War uh, will come out. And he said something very important, that this generation, who was never in a war, truly, only saw war in movies. And movies don't have smells. And once you are in a fight, you will never forget the smell that is included there. So we are about to experience a lot of stuff on our own. I hope it's not going to be war, but please pay attention and please make it sure that you are actually looking at people who can be trusted and who can be looked up on and not down on. It's terribly important because you may learn something from them. So Mebsuta allows you to retain your own ability to carry yourself and at the same time to bend the knee to those that deserve it. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.